Hey, what's going on, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another video. I hope you guys are all doing fantastically well. I'm sure you are. I hope your Christmas was brilliant, but Boxing Day brought an away win for Norwich City. That's only our second win in 11 games, but boy, was it needed. It really was an away win away at Birmingham. I can't get my words out. I'm very excited. 2-0. Goals from Alex Pritchard and Josh Murphy was the difference in the end, and God, did we need that so desperately. And the team was, to credit to Daniel Farke, I think probably the best team we could have put out. Jamal Lewis coming in at left back after his kind of cameo appearance against Brentford on Friday night. Tom Tribal and Alex Tete returning to the midfield, and that was the big one, wasn't it? Both of them players now fit. They were on the bench against Brentford, although Daniel Farke stuck with Mario Vrancic and Harrison Reed against Brentford. It was quite clear that it wasn't working. It done a job, very loosely I'm saying that, but it done a job while Alex Tete and Tom Tribal were both injured. But we saw through that sort of unbeaten run in which we picked up 5 clean sheets in a row, and it was the run that has pretty much kept us out of the relegation zone, because if it wasn't for them away wins, then God knows where we'd be. But that midfield cover that Alex Tete provides and that Tom Tribal provides, it certainly isn't perfect, but it's far better than what we've seen. And that, I think, was probably the difference once again today. If we had that against Brentford, I think we would have probably won, because both goals against Brentford, for me, came because the defence were having to do double the work that they should have done, were having to win the balls in midfield areas, and then because of that, we were out of position at the back. I'm not saying it was all the midfield's fault, because the defence certainly had parts to play against Brentford, but it seems like we've rectified them mistakes and tried to change that. I do think as well we need to say a big shout out to Jamal Lewis, his full professional debut today, and I thought he was absolutely excellent. And it's quite nice to have a left back playing at left back, because yes, Marco Stiepermann's okay, but he's out of position more than he's in position. James Husband, for me, isn't a championship quality defender, certainly to the standard we need players to be if we want to be challenging for, I don't know, the top half of the table. Jamal Lewis, young lad, something to prove. It's nice to see an academy product coming through into the first team and doing well, because there was a lot of pressure on him. There was a lot of pressure on this Norwich City team today, and rightly so. A lot of pressure on Daniel Farke. It was a big call for him to put Jamal Lewis in there, a 19-year-old lad, and he done very well. So well done to Jamal. And as well as that, a massive well done to Josh Murphy, because rightly so, he's had a lot of criticism this season. I don't think he's handled himself maybe as well as he probably should have done, and I'm sure he'll look back at some of his actions this season with regret. And he hasn't performed that well. He had that really kind of purple patch near the start of the season, and he scored a lot of goals, to be fair, for him. I think it was his 8th of the season today. That's a decent return, and imagine what he'd be like if he was on fire every week. But a well-taken goal today, a good professional performance from him, and hopefully that does wonders for his confidence, because he is a confidence player, and we know on his day he's probably one of the best wingers in this league. But that inconsistency is a real kind of niggling factor for Murphy, and hopefully he bounces back from that. As well, Pritchard and Maddison, you get them two ripping, and they're something else. They're Premier League quality on their day, and you know, great to see Pritchard getting a goal today. I'm sure he'll want to add more goals to his game. He's struggled with that kind of department. Admittedly, he's been injured for the majority of the season, but he will want to be adding goals to his game. So great to see him in there today. And James Maddison, well, we all know the quality that man has, and once again, him doing well. As well as that, it's all about the fine margins, isn't it? And we've seen a lot this season, fine margins swinging both our way and going against us. And I think a real pivotal moment in today's game was that Angus Gunn save at 0-0, pulls out an absolutely fantastic save, and you think, okay, like, we're hanging in here now. We're doing the gritty stuff well, and that will pose you well, because if Birmingham grab a goal, then they'll sit behind the ball and probably go on to snatch a 1-0 win. But Gunn pulls out a magnificent save. We soak up a little bit of pressure, hit Birmingham on the counter. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. It's 1-0, absolutely lovely. And it's nice to see Angus getting plaudits, as he has done all season. But it's been strange. It's been a strange season for Angus, because he had that period in which we kept 5 clean sheets, but he was actually quite quiet in that period. You know, we defended brilliantly, and his best games have come in defeats, and he hasn't really made a mistake all season, yet we've conceded a hell of a lot of goals. But we've also kept a hell of a lot of clean sheets, so it's been up and down for him. But throughout the whole season, he's performed to a consistent standard and held himself brilliantly well as well. So massive credit to Angus Gunn. I think the big thing now is how will we continue this? Because we've now got 2 big games coming up. Burton away, that's winnable, but it's certainly not going to be easy. They're in a relegation scrap. They're going to desperately be wanting to pick up home wins, and it was a big sucker punch for them going ahead against Leeds today and then losing. So they're going to be really fired up for that. It's a big game for them, almost make or break, you could say. And then Millwall at home. Millwall have had an up and down season. We all saw what they'd done to us at the Den very early on in the season when we lost 4-0. So, look, massive games coming up. Today was a big win. Could it be a turning point? Look, I've said that a lot this season, but hopefully it might be something. It was nice to see our players dig in deep. It was nice to see their true colours. And it was a very interesting quote from Daniel Farker after the game. I saw Paddy Davitt tweet it, and he said that some of the boys were in tears after Friday night. And, you know, good. I'm glad that they're showing that kind of emotion, because I felt like crying after Brentford. And I want to be seeing Norwich City players genuinely care about the shirt that they're pulling on and the wages they're paid each week. And I'm glad that some of them were crying. And that's good. That's a good thing. Sometimes you have to hit them real low points in the season to bounce back. And hopefully now we've seen the lowest point against Brentford and we can start to build again. I'm certainly not saying this is a turned corner, but, you know, it's a little bit in the right direction. I'm not going to get too carried away. Birmingham, I think, are bottom of the table, and they look pretty dire, to say the least. But at the same time, we've been to places with worse teams and lost, so it's nice to get that away win. And you know what? Happy Christmas. I hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas. I will see you all at Burton. To the 921 fans, whatever it was, that travelled up to St Andrews, well done to you. That is not the prettiest of trips, but you've done it. Get home, treat yourself to the final celebrations, maybe a mince pie, and hopefully get one of your mum's homemade sausage rolls, because they always deliver, don't they? Thank you very much for watching. 3 points for the boys. I'll see you at Burton. Have a good evening. Peace out.